The automotive section here is my favorite part of the museum, where they have such a nice collection of cars that span the entire generations of the automotive industry here. And they don't just limit it to Ford products either. There's a nice variety of other companies' vehicles here as well. We're looking at brass era cars here from the 19 teens and early 1900s, and then it moves on through the 20s and 30s and right up through other less memorable cars here, like the Dodge Omni and the Honda Accord behind it, a full-scale like Chrysler Newport, I do believe that is. What else we got? Some European car up there, the blue one, a beautiful Mercury Cougar right in front of us there. Just a nice selection of random cars here that shows the development of the auto industry throughout the years. Corvair, a car which started a movement toward automotive safety regulations. A very early Toyota right there behind that, and a beautiful two-tone Chevy Bel Air here, along with one of the early Volkswagen Beetles that came to the US in 1949 with the split rear window. A Mustang convertible, the original Ford Taurus down there right behind it, the red one, is credited as rejuvenating Ford Motor Company in the 1980s. It was a game changer for the auto industry and for Ford Motor Company. A lovely display here of all the different name badges from different cars throughout the decades. Just a beautiful display of memorabilia right here, I tell you. The actual script of the name. I know a lot of these. We had a lot of these cars over the years. We had a Imperial. Let's see what else. We had New Yorker, Bel Air, Park Avenue, Monte Carlo. These are all cars me or my family's had over the years. There's some more modern ones here, like the Outback and the Blazer, and the Odyssey. Very cool. Oh, a Satellite. I had a Satellite. There's also a nice exhibit of automobile-related derivatives, such as tent campers, the Airstream type motorhome, a Volkswagen camper van. And there's a lot of fans of these nowadays. Look at that. Let's see, what else? An early roadside cottage, a tourist cabin we would call it, which was before the days of the big chain motels. People would travel across the country and stay at these tourist cabins. And here's a sample Holiday Inn motel room from the 1960s. Recreated here for your fond memories of being on the road back then on family road trips. There's shag carpeting and the 2 queen-size beds, a telephone, some Formica furniture, and of course your own color TV right there in the room for your enjoyment. And the Holiday Inn sign that they've saved and reproduced right here in the motel as well. Isn't that fabulous? And neon and lights. It's just a great old vintage Holiday Inn sign. And then there's a little display window here about the heritage of road trips across America. In 1957, Cornell University developed the safety car. It cost them $150,000 to design this, and it featured innovative concepts on what they would consider to be the safest ideas for car design. Front seat restraints, steering handles instead of a wheel. I don't know if you can see it in there very well, but the dashboard is fully paddled with big handles that you turn instead of a steering wheel. A panoramic windshields for driver visibility, head restraints, wraparound bumpers, accordion doors that flex to absorb impact, mirrors on both fenders instead of just one fender. Fascinating stuff. Along with the first Chrysler minivan, the vehicle that saved Chrysler Corporation in the 1980s for sure. They built these by the millions, and the American public just couldn't get them fast enough. Of course, some of my favorite things to see here at the museum are the special cars and vehicles they have on exhibit. And this one here is the original, or one of the original Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles. And it's just such a cool thing to see it up close and in person. A promotional machine that traveled around the country advertising Oscar Mayer meat products. Oops. That is just pretty cool. Let's go see what the sign says about it. But just the whole thing is just super cool looking at it. You can't really tell what kind of frame or base it was built on, but let's see. The very first one was built in 1936. This is the 1952 model, an original design in our collection, served as a prototype for the more recent 1988 fleet. Pretty darn cool, eh? 1952 Wienermobile, built in Wooster, Ohio. The Henry Ford Museum is known for its extensive collection of early American historical technology, including farm equipment that helped develop the country's resources and economy. This giant 1916 steam traction engine that was used on farms. Here are some examples of some other farm equipment they have on display here.
Growing up, I mean,
A giant corn picker,
it's cool, but you've seen it.
or combine in this case. Look at our commercial truck driver in there driving the big corn machine.